making sure we have all of our girls.
So never fear, if it gets rough, I'll let you know. We'll keep you apprised. MRH is a unique school in that we offer a science research class. To my knowledge, there's only 3 schools in the region that offer this as a class offering, in spite of the fact that STEM has been continuously spoken of as an area where we need greater education. There is no more authentic class than a science research class, where students participate in an authentic research project. This is not to decry the value of science fairs, but in science fairs, much of the work that students conduct is a verification experiment. How much vitamin C is in that juice? That's something that may be known, and the students learn good scientific technique. But these students take it a step further. What's the best photosynthetic antenna to harvest from that vitamin C? These are projects that have never been done by anyone ever before. It's exciting to see them participate in this authentic body of research. We have been teaching this at MRH for the past decade plus, and the students have been very successful. So we want to begin this evening by recognizing some of the accomplishments of our science research students. I believe you're up first.
Science research. She carried us on her back uphill for the JSCHS debate, which was on first place. So Anna designed her own environmental science project, and she plans to go to Colorado College to study biology next year.
Jasmine, can I ask you to explain perhaps a little for those who don't know what our debate was about this year?
Oh, maybe should Anna explain it? Okay, I'll explain. So basically the debate was about vaccines and whether or not they should be mandated for children. And we were on the con side because they should not be.
And the interesting thing is that originally the students did not agree with it at all, and they were forced to argue that position, and by the end they had convinced themselves. And that was spearheaded, as she said, by Anna. So congratulations for all your hard work. She's sitting here being shy. Here you go. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Congrats.
I'm going to introduce one of our science research students, Key. Key is from Malaysia. She speaks 7 languages, which is probably more than I could ever hope to learn. Okay, so Key helped Anna with our debate, which we just talked about. Also, she's a straight A student in Malaysia, which she says is a lot harder to do than I did she says that helps out a lot with getting scholarships, and this is her first student exchange program, but she wants to do more. I know she does. So that's Key.
And I'll further add that in addition to coming in halfway through the year with these exceptional students, which can be She's held her own and always done it with a smile. She has the sweetest personality. Key, we're so glad you're here. Sorry, so I'm here to talk about Jasmine Bell, which you just saw spoke. Jasmine did her own environmental studies project, which you'll hear a lot more about later. Jasmine is just a cool girl, but she's very, I don't want to say modest about it, but she's very soft-spoken and so interesting to talk to. Her favorite food is avocados because it is a superfood. Fun fact about Jasmine. She's taken AP chemistry, and she's also the lead in our musical opening next week.
Oh my.
That's a bit about Jasmine Bell. And she also is a lead person in a very special group we have here called the Student Group on Race Relations. She speaks not only with students, she speaks with members of the community and to the press. Well-spoken, intelligent, this young lady has it all.
Hi, my name is Key, and I'm going to introduce Autumn Martin. So she's a fantastic senior from MRH, and with a super passion in science, she fought through JSEHS, which Mr. Dwyer called it Jesus, and emerged as the top 6 paper for JSEHS this year. She also participated in the Math and Science Bridge program at University of the South Suwannee. Not only that, she is the recipient of the AAUW Kirkwood Webster STEM Award of 2015 and the recipient of Thomas H. Elliott Scholarship from Washington University, covering full tuition room and board for 4 years. Autumn wants to study neuroscience, and she's currently choosing between Washington University and Pomona College. So I personally hope that you will succeed in the future and as a bright future. We all love you.
How's that for college choices? But whatever college gets her, I know you'll be highly successful.
Some last minute changes here, but I am very honored to introduce Paul Muser. He's also a senior here at MRH. Paul has been very fun to have in science research and all of the science classes. He conducted a very successful chemistry project this year related to pharmaceuticals. Comes from a family full of awesome scientists also, so we know that he is going to succeed in the future. I believe Paul wants to study math at University of Tulsa. Great person, probably going to be the valedictorian. Everyone calls him.
Paul has won like everything I put him. He was first in the state for chemistry last year, second in the state for math in the WISE competition, finalist at STARS, presented for 2 years. He did the whole 6 weeks working at the university. He continues to exceed. He has so much to offer University of Tulsa. I hope they know how lucky they are. Love to show.
Oh, he's got his Einstein.
Yes, I'm next. So yeah. Okay, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you Natalie Mitten, and I have to say that Natalie never ceases to amaze and inspire with both her dedication to scientific rigor and her very genuine dedication to the subjects which she works with. Her research this year has been analyzing traditional gender beliefs and the impact of and gender conformity as they impact adolescence. So that really does hit home close to us. And she's done plenty of things working with social justice. I believe the org group is called Anytown.
Yes.
I don't know a lot about it, but I know I mean, she she is genuinely passionate about trying to make sure that we understand everything that goes on in our society as how we treat each other. And I'd just like to say thank you for showing us all of this amazing work you've done. And also, she was chosen to present as one of the top 6 at JSEHS, first in her category, second overall, and will be representing MRH at the national level competition. So.
To put in perspective, they get hundreds of papers from across the state. They pick the top 6 in behavioral science, and they have to present before a group of PhDs and doctors and people, and she held her own so magnificently. They not only placed her first in her category, but second overall. We are so honored that she is representing us at this national competition. So I think Paul and I, is that okay? We'll be introducing Miss Kathleen Dwyer.
Yes.
For being our science teacher. All of us here at this table are seniors, and so it's our last year working with her. And so like with theater, you get, the final night of the performance, and with sports, you get senior night to give gifts. Science research doesn't always have these events, so we thought this was the best time to present her with a big thank you. Paul, do you want to maybe say some words as well?
What do we have here?
We have some flowers.
Flowers. Oh, but there's more?
You don't have to open it in front of everyone, but there's a gift in there.
Oh, fine.
Thank you, all of you. That's very kind. Dwyer does put in all the hours, all of the work to make these things happen. She has the connections. She gets us into JSEHS. She makes sure that we have a way to go there for free, which is a big deal. She does so much to challenge us. I think it's really important to note that our students at MRH do need to be challenged, and she always keeps that in mind and always pushes us, but in a very respectful way, and I love that about her. And this is such a cool opportunity, as she was talking about earlier. What school has a science research, independent research class like this?
It's awesome.
This opportunity is so college preparatory, it's so unique, and it's because
Might
she
I
puts
ask,
on.
how many students are in that?
It usually runs about 10 to a dozen. It's a small class. You can't run it with 24 students. It's not possible.
I get
Right.
that. I get that.
So it's nice. So we keep these small numbers, but it enables me to really understand each person's project. Yes.
That's fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think I speak for everyone when I say all of us are better people, just personally and as students, just for having been your students. And yeah, I have such a big
Thank you. Next up, we have some acknowledgments from the group, the American Association of University Women. If you'd come forward at this time.
No, I'm not. I'm just getting out of your way.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marcia Block. This is Sandra Murdoch. We are co-chairs of the STEM committee at Baldwin-Chesterfield AUW, and this is Pickett Lema, who is one of our members as well, and an MRH graduate herself.
50 years ago.
There's several other members. You probably saw us all back there from our branch: Betty Boudet, Carol Darrington, Marilyn Fletcher, Rita Hawkins-Page, and Linda Seibert, who have come this evening with us. First, I want to thank you all for letting us be a part of your science symposium, and especially to Kathleen Dwyer, who's been our contact person and taken the lead in organizing the selection. Now, some of you have heard of, apparently, I had expected nobody had heard of AUW before, but apparently there's been some history. I mean, Natalie, yes, but other than that, but some of you thought, what's AUW? And we've even had people say, is that something to do with United Auto Workers? No. The American Association of University Women started over 130 years ago with a group of women graduates, college graduates, and there weren't that many of them at that time. So they banded together to promote education for women. And what I find an interesting fact is that the very first was to prove that education was not a disadvantage to women's health. Yes, apparently people were concerned, and I think this is the actual idea, that it was bad for their reproductive health.
Got too smart.
You know, what education would have to do to damage us, you know, so that we wouldn't have enough babies, I guess, was the idea. And obviously, they disproved that. And we've gone on, we've broadened our mission so that right now, at AUW works for equity for women and girls, our motto here, through advocacy, education, philanthropy, and research. And we are one of 6 branches in Baldwin Chesterfield is one of 6 branches in the St. Louis area. We are the largest with about 250 members. And for a long time, we have been working on various projects. We have, one of the things we do is give scholarships to mature women, i.e. out of college, out of high school for 10 years, to help them to go back to college and get their degrees so that they can support a family, which in many cases, that's actually what they're trying to do. And we have sponsored Science Fair Awards, which is why we know Natalie, who received an award last year, and a couple of years ago, Jasmine Epps also received an award for her Science Fair project, if some of you remember Jasmine. And both Natalie and Jasmine have come to our branch and spoken about their research, and it was just so exciting to meet them and to hear about them. And about last year, we decided that we wanted to do something more with high school with that outreach, and we began STEM Girls of Promise with a pilot program at Valley Park High School, recognizing 5 junior women for their work in science, math, technology, engineering, any or all of those fields, and asked their teachers to select their outstanding students. And this year, we decided that we wanted to expand that program, and we reached out to Maplewood, and we're told, yes, you can do that. So here we are tonight, and we want to recognize 5 outstanding young women. Each of these young women has been selected by her teacher for excellence, perseverance, integrity, responsibility, motivation, meeting and overcoming challenges, and a positive learning spirit. She will receive a medal, a certificate, and a cash award. As I call your name, would you please come forward? Faith Ferguson. Faith was nominated by Chuck McWilliams for exceptional academic performance in biology class. Our next student is Marianne Hicks, who was nominated. Marianne? No, Marianne?
Unfortunately, could not make it.
Oh, she was nominated by David Grossman for exceptional service as a technology aide, and we can leave the material with you for her. And then next student is Jade Stemler. Jade was nominated by Ryan Massey for her exceptional work in all science core classes. So we're just delighted to have you here. Our next young lady is Ellen Van Zer-Mucklen? Mueller. She was nominated by Ben Mims for exceptional service working in aquaponics, promotion of sustainability at MRH, exceptional performance in AP chemistry, second place winner in chemistry at regional WYSE competition, and finally for tutoring assistance to general chemistry students. So congratulations. Get a picture of everybody in your group. And last we have Jaira Walker. Jaira was nominated by Kathleen Dwyer for exceptional performance in AP chemistry, for tutoring assistance to general chemistry students, and as a member of the first place team at WYSE competition. What does WYSE apply?
Worldwide Youth in Science and Engineering.
Cool. Never heard of it before. Congratulations, ladies, and we recognize you for your excellence up to now and wish you much success in the future. And if you just pause for a moment so that we can get a picture.
present a science fair project to, I have no idea why I'm here. Where are you? Symposium. Ah, okay. Okay, good. Yeah, this is high school, right? Okay, so I need to get to know my audience a little bit here. So my lab at Washington University does research on what wakes us up in the morning and what puts us to sleep at night. So just out of curiosity, how many of you went to sleep last night? Give them up high. Okay, just see that. You know, just be proud. Okay, it's almost everybody. How many of you woke up this morning? Okay, all right. So what woke you up today? Alarm clock.
Storm.
Everybody who used an alarm clock, raise your hand. Okay, now look around the room. Okay? Now, all those people who don't have your hands up, what woke you up?
The storm.
The storm.
The dog.
Kathleen.
My head.
Your head. What was yours? Your
The
dog?
dog.
Okay. So did anybody else wake up due to Kathleen's head? No? Okay, so we got dogs, storms, swimmer. What woke you up? You woke up.
Kathleen's head.
Yeah? That's scary. Yeah, that's very scary. In fact, I'd like to get your name and number. We want you in the lab. We just need a sample. Yeah?
I always wake up at the same time.
And what wakes you up at the same time?
Automatic.
It's automatic. So I've heard people talking about things in their environment waking them up. And then there's Kathleen. She said it's her head. And at least one of us in this room is waking up to her head. Maybe two of us. Okay? And so what I'd like to do is try and explore what it is that would wake us up if we didn't have alarm clocks, we didn't have storms and dogs, and all those other things in our environment. So you guys may be quite familiar with this scenario, and if you haven't read PhD Comics, you guys are geeky enough to appreciate PhDcomics.com. So I'm going to turn this around a little bit. I'm going to ask a question that's going to require a volunteer. I need a scientist. Come up here, please. You have the fastest hands. Jeremy, you are the scientist. I am your student, okay? I'm here. Yeah. What are you going to do with this power? You're going to run an experiment. I'm going to collect the data that you get on your data, okay? I'm just going to put your data into a little spreadsheet here. And here's the experiment we're going to run, okay? You're going to ask these guys, when did they wake up, okay? And we're going to start the experiment out we're going to ask the question, when did you wake up today? And I'll change this spreadsheet to today, which is today Thursday? Okay, that says Thursday. If you can't read it, don't worry, it's not a vision test. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to count how many people woke up at midnight and stayed awake for the rest of the day. They got up at midnight and then they just stayed awake for the rest of the day. We don't care about when they took off. All right, so you ready? You have to ask these guys, and we're going to count how many hands go up. And we're going to do this really, really fast, okay? So we're going to start out on Friday. How many of you woke up, or Thursday, today, how many of you woke up at midnight and stayed awake?
0.
Okay, how many woke up between, now we go 1 to 2. You do. How many people woke up between 1 and 2 in the morning?
How many people woke up in between 1 and 2?
0. Next one.
2 to 3,
0.
3 to 4.
Notice the everybody woken up now on Thursday? Okay, so this is the challenge to you guys. Look at these data. Can you guys see that okay? Is that big enough? All right. I'm going to ask you to think about how you would describe those data. Don't interpret them, just describe those data, okay? How would you summarize what you see in that distribution of, what color is that, purple? Red. Red, thank you. Red lady, describe.
Bell curve?
Bell curve, it's sort of bell-shaped. How would you summarize a bell curve to an audience of scholarly people?
Most of these data is in the middle.
Most of the data is in the middle. We call the most the mode. Now we go like this with our glasses. Okay. So where is the mode of this distribution? Where's the peak?
6 to 7.
Yeah, 6 to 7 a.m. So the majority of us are waking at 6 to 7. What else can you do in the back? Swimmers. Can you describe anything else about this distribution?
The two ends are pretty, nobody wakes up, well, not many people wake up at those times.
Good. There are just a few people that wake up. There's one person that woke up between 3 and 4, and we know who she is.